Hello everyone. This is going to be the final race of the season. I'll be going through the reserves in a second. Unfortunately, one of our reserves had to drop out last minute. I hope everything's okay with him. But in the meantime, I hope you guys are all okay. We got Adam Dixon in place for Martins in the Red Bull. Sonef couldn't make it today, and unfortunately Kenty couldn't reserve. Something came up last minute. We got Chris MCGT3 in replacement for Bantoft in the Alfa Romeo. Today is the final race of the first season for Tier 1. We still have 4 drivers that can win the championship: Andre, Faxland, Het Bumpier and DXSinio. All can still win the drivers championship. I think Faxland hasn't joined yet. He's still got a couple. Yeah, Faxland hasn't joined yet. I think A Dude hasn't. And obviously the reserve couldn't. Wait. No, and the Roy hasn't either, I think. So everything's okay with them. And we still have 2 teams that can still win the Drivers' Championship, which is the Mercedes and the Racing Point. So today's going to be a really exciting race. Brazil as well. And yeah, hope everything goes to plan. In the meantime, SBD's come across the line, reserve today. He filled in for Kenty, who was meant to be our reserve for Sonev. So thanks to him for joining last minute. I was about to say KCDB is in 4th with 108.2. Andre with 109.1, seemingly struggling. I think he had really fast lap times during time trials, and even had Bumpier 108.3. Both drivers slower than KCDB and slower than Jamie Robertson, which is not something we see often, or like at all. And Chris MC 108.1 and Tan1212 first to break into the 107, so 107.7. Legend 110.8. Godly Noob still in the pits. Merv Martin now having a go his second time around. And Faxland pole position. Well, currently first place, 107.6, only a 10th and a bit above Tan1212. As I just automatically scroll to Andre, he sets fastest lap, 107.1, 4 tenths ahead of DXSinio. Didn't even realize that had happened. And yeah, that's a much more indicative pace of Andre. And we've got the top 4 of the Drivers' Championship at both pace at 107.7. They are the top 4, all 4 drivers that can win the Drivers' Championship. They're all battling it out. Could see a very interesting race, honestly. Very interesting strategy calls, as Adam Dixon goes in 2nd with 107.2. And Gexy, yeah, made it to Q2. Very nice from him indeed. And 13th as well. Around 3 tenths off 10th place, which is the elimination zone for Q2. So it's going to be a bit hard to get in there, but starting off 13th would be pretty good, especially for the small amount of practice you've had so far under your new quote-unquote setup. Adam Dixon on mediums sets a 107.8, only 2 tenths off at Bumpier. This is insane stuff. Aiden's joined, so hopefully he'll be able to join us for the race. KCDB 108.2, Jamie Robertson 108.3. Some insane pace here. Gexy 109.0 on mediums. Makes sense. As Andre sets the fastest lap of the race once more, of the qualifying of Q2 with a 107.089, even faster than his Q1 time. Just blistering pace, like absolute. Just speed. There's pure speed on him. Bossman Pickle 107.4, Godly Noob 107.6. Insane pace from Bossman Pickle. We didn't see this kind of pace from him in Q1, but stepping up his game here in Q2. As Merv Martin set lap on mediums 108.2 as well, so he's in 7th. Probably will need to come out again on softs. It definitely will need to come out again on softs, but pretty good lap time for the mediums as well. Very curious to see where these 2 drivers are going to end up putting themselves. DXSinio, according to the game, fastest sector 2, and I'm just realizing DXSinio's on mediums, so all of this is very unlikely for him to be going the fastest on mediums out of everyone. As Faxland, according to the game, sets the fastest sector 2, and now that's something believable, as he almost lost the rear end coming through the final piece of the corner, as DXSinio comes across the line with the 107.5, and Faxland's about to cross the line, and he's going to land himself a 107.6. Brazil seemingly not Faxland's fastest track. Oh, I said Bumpier goes up to second with the 107.3. Now that has some important implications. But Adam Dixon going out on mediums again, and I find this a bit curious because if you're going to go on a second run, I'd say go out on softs, considering DeRoy, Chris MC still need to do runs. Merv Martin needs to do a run on softs, Zegexi as well. But he's gone out on mediums, and it's probably the mediums which he's qualified already on. So just probably putting some extra wear into them. So I don't know what strategy's behind this, but anyway, he's going to cross the line, and he goes up into 7th to the 107.6. A very, very good lap. Only a 10th of the Exercinio's lap on mediums, and basically the same lap time as Faxland, but he did it on softs. I wonder if Faxland just has a trick out of the bag he's going to pull at the end of the qualifying at some point. Yeah, Merv Martin doing another lap, I think. Or he did a lap and didn't improve on it. So Adam Dixon should be pretty safe. We see a bit of rain kicking in, so I think Adam Dixon is safe in the pits now. I don't think anyone's going to be improving on their lap times. He is indeed. So Chris MC, GT3, DeRoy, MLT, KCDB 2001, DMS Gexi and Simon Jr. will all be getting eliminated in Q2. And Jamie Robertson is in, and nicely, in Q3. And now this leaves us with just one more session, Q3, to determine the all things of the race. And looks like it's going to be raining. I did hope for no rain, but this rain could shake things up a bit. I had Bumpier had said he's pretty whacked in the rain, so I do feel a bit sorry for him. One of 2 DRS zones normally, but as it's rain, no DRS, as that's spun out. At Tan 12-12, I think spun out because he's got no front wing. So this is one of his runs done and done, which he won't be happy with that. Especially if the rain does get stronger, because he'll just be even slower in his second run. So we won't be excited about that. So Merv Martin coming through the final corner. Andre about to set the first lap time of Q3. Was the fastest in Q1, the fastest in Q2. Sets a 1:15.7, a whole lot slower than the times we're seeing in Q1 and Q2, obviously because of the rain. As Bosman Pickle spun out, I think in around the same place, Tan 12-12 spun out. He seemingly have his front wing intact, which he's going to be happy about that. Adam Dixon's invalidated his lap. He's not going to be happy about that one. Tan 12-12 slowly but surely making his way back to the pits. Jamie Robertson, I thought crossed the line with a lap time. No, he's just starting off his lap now. Merv Martin with a 118.0 at Bumpier, 116.7. Faxland 116.5. I think the only man out on the track who's going to be setting a competitive lap time. Actually, maybe Godlinoob might. Just have to wait and see. Not entering the pits, so he's going to set a second place with a 116.3, and DXacinio is going to be the next guy to set a lap. (1:15.8), only a 10th of Andre. So Tan 12-12. Adam Dixon, Bosman Pickle. I'm very curious where these guys are going to place themselves, because they had some pretty good pace in Q1 and in Q1, Q2, especially in Q2. So I'll be very curious. As DXacinio, fastest lap currently on provisional pole with a 1:15.5. He's going to be coming around for his final time, or unless he's going to be, unless this was set up. He goes in pole position by half a second, so never mind. Andre, most probably, are getting the last pole position of the season. He is on provisional pole. Faxland invalidates his lap, so unless he's got fuel for one more go around, no, he's entering the pit. So Faxland's gonna have to settle for P3, unless Godlinoob is Bumpy have something to say about that. Godlinoob, I don't think has anything to be saying about that. Seemingly going wide at Bumpier. Said he's struggling in the rain. Said the rain is not his forte in Brazil. And now he's going to be coming across the final corner. Head Bompier, third in the driver's standings. Actually, no, I think Head Bompier is second. Actually, I think I've been messing up the driver's standings in my head. I'll get to that in a second. Head Bompier gonna cross the line, goes in fifth, 116.2, and Jamie Robertson in fourth with the 116.1. Taking as much of a wide entry as he can to the final corner. According to game, fastest sector 2, we've been seeing a lot of those, and not really any of them have been inspiring into the fastest of laps. But we're just gonna have to see what Adam Dixon's gonna pull off as he's just coming through the final straight, sticking as tight as he can. He's gonna cross the finish line. He's gonna place his third, 115.6. That drops Jamie Robertson to fifth, Faxton to fourth. I'm just excited for this. Andre in pole position, Dixon in second, Adam Dixon, beautiful drive, reserve driver. Hopefully can become full-time in third. Faxon in fourth, Jamie Robertson in fifth, most improved driver of the season in my opinion. Ed Bompier in sixth, Godley Noob in seventh, Tanto 12 in eighth, Murph Martin in ninth, Postman Pickle in 10th. I think the rain really tampered with the driver's abilities here, which is a shame. I think we'd have seen a really close Q3 session if it weren't for the rain. Apparently we've got 3 drivers who unfortunately are having issues. Okay, with it's lights out on the way we go. It's lights out on the way we go. We had an issue of the AI kind of jumping the start. That will be resolved later on in the race. And we are off and underway. The final race of the season. I saw a driver going wide at the back, and drivers keeping it very tight and concise. Dixie and Andre keeping it side by side. Faxon making his move down the inside, and in the middle, splitting the both. We see a bit of contact. The 3 wide coming through of this straight, a bit of more contact. Dixie managed to hang it on first, Faxon in second. As there's spin and contact between Godley Noob and Adam Dixon. Down in the back, I'm guessing a safety car. Safety car's out. DeRoy doing the manly thing, and dropping back down positions. I think he's gonna. He can, as we see, yeah, oh no. So, drivers should have kept on driving. Sitcar's in the slap. I don't think we're gonna. So we're not gonna restart. I called the restart, but then I removed it. So hopefully everything is a-okay. As drivers are getting ready to back to go. Dixie leading the charge, Faxon in second, Andre in third, Head Bompier in fourth. And drivers seemingly all in one piece now that the safety car has been in. Nothing too drastic. A bit of position changes here at the back with a fighting goal. Actually, as I say that, Simon Jr. I think spun out. SBD and Gexy fighting it off. And Gexy took a gander down the inside for a second, but nothing. He couldn't go down the inside. So Andre, very close to Faxland. I think Andre's going to look down the inside. He's going to look down the inside of Faxland. They're taking it side by side. Andre barely has a gander. They both spin a bit, but they managed to save it. I hope Andre didn't get any front wing damage. It was a very tight space. Andre should have backed out for that one. MLT having to pit, SBD as well. Maybe they had some contact while they were driving about. And KCB's retired from the session. Bompier, oh no, is floating it with Andre. Saw some front wing flying. And Postman Pickles going up into fourth. And Andre's dropped back down to fifth. Chris MC is, I think, spun out. So that's going to be some extra positions for those guys. Ooh, as now Jamie Roberts is looking to go down the inside of Head Bompier, and he's done that as well. And now Bompier has dropped down to sixth. And I think Head Bompier might have some front wing. Yeah, Head Bompier's got front wing damage. Murph Martin actually fighting alongside Tan 12-12, gets past Tan down the inside. And Faxon, yeah, was way too far off Dixie to make any lunges though. Andre goes past, I was going to say goes past Postman Pickle, but cuts the corner way too deep, and he's lost so much time in positions. And Andre, making sure he's got a safe re-entry, cost him a lot of time, and Andre is now in 10th. His front wing is still intact, and now he's going to be dropping down to 11th as well. And Andre's, oh no. I really don't know the strategies that's going on here. And as well, as I had said earlier on, we might see rain coming on later in the race, so a lot up for the grab here with strategy coming into play. especially later on. We just have to wait and see as the race evolves. As Marv Martin looks down the inside of Jamie Robertson. Jamie Robertson tries to fight it around the outside. Still trying to fight it, couldn't fight it though. Marv Martin gets past Jamie Robertson. Jamie Robertson slowly going down the pecking order. Godly Noob's going to be looking to prey on Jamie Robertson next. And in fact, Godly Noob's going to look down the inside of Jim Robertson. He's going to get past. Jim Robertson taking a bit of avoiding action. Doesn't want to lose his front wing. Concedes position to Godly Noob as Adu now enters the pits. But had to, as I'm on him, had to swap to softs after being involved with contact with Godly Noob earlier on. As Andre now gets past, I think he got past Chris, and I think Chris might have been, I think he might have crashed into Chris though. Or something might have happened there as Chris has just crashed out on the track. And using DRS, he's going to be looking down the inside of Smith Bell, and he's going to... Oop, is he going to get past? He's going to get past Smith Bell. Smith Bell not being able to put much of a fight. He's on hard tires, while Bumpier is on softs. And Merv Martin is going to be fighting alongside Bosman Pickle now coming out of the straight. They're fighting alongside, side by side. And Bosman Pickle though able to inch ahead of Merv Martin coming out of the pits on fresh mediums. So he's on faster tire compound, but they are cold tires. As you see, clouds starting to form in. So Merv Martin not very close still to Bosman Pickle as Dixacinio on mediums enters the pits before Faxland does, and Faxland is on softs. So I think Faxland is just really making those softs last as long as possible, hoping that the rain kicks in and then he just swaps from those softs to intermediates. Half a second of Bosman Pickle, and Faxland's decided, you know what, tires are getting really dead here, I'm losing a lot of time, it's time to enter the pits. Godly Noob as well lasted as long as Faxland did on softs, although I think Godly Noob might have had to pit earlier on. Let's take a look at stops. Yeah, Godly Noob already had to do one stop in this race, even Adam Dixon, but having to stop again now. Andre Andre still needs to do his first stop, and Andre has oh, I thought he was going to enter the pits, has not entered the pits yet. Faxland already within a second of Andre, as I think that is rain. I think that is rain. So Faxland might have just wasted a pit stop here if he had hung out a bit longer, like Andre is. But those softs of Andre must be pretty dead. 21 laps in on softs. He'll be hoping it doesn't get a puncture, I reckon. Oh, I think it might have been Chris MC actually. I think he skid and crashed. We see a safety car. Adam's pit. Andre's probably going to pit, and I reckon people are now going to switch on to inters. Yeah. So Andre, I hope he puts on the inters, because now Andre could still have a chance at the championship. So now I'm gonna need to take a look at tires here. We have Adam Dixon, fresh intermediates. Het Bumpier, 14 lap old softs, didn't go into the pits last time around. If he does now, he's gonna lose a lot of time, but it's still better than so better than doing so during the race probably. But yeah, which is a really big shame, because if he had pitted to intermediates, even Godly Noob, if they had both, and Smith, but if these guys all pitted to intermediates, they'd have been in the same boat as everyone else. I think the fastest compound so far would still be the dries, but I don't think it will be for much longer, as Adam Dixon's going to be ready to set us off. I think he set us off and we're off racing. And Dixacinio's entered the pits. And that's a really weird call by Dixacinio to wait for the safety car to enter the pits. Don't know why he's done that, but anyway, Godly Noob, in fact, everyone's seemingly, I was going to say everyone's seemingly in one tag. Bosman Pickles retired from the session. I think there was contact at the back. As we see two drivers going side by side. I think it's a racing point of Adu and Smithpell, I think, as also the Red Bull was side by side with another driver with a Mercedes. I was the Roy and Merv Martin side by side. Oh no, Godloob's got a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Het Bumpier in 4th. Andre in 3rd on mediums. Those mediums probably seeming like they're struggling, as he's 3.6 seconds behind Faxland. And Bumpier's got to be careful. He doesn't want to lose any front wing to Andre because, you know, he's probably a slower car ahead of him. And they do this well, really close right behind Bumpier. He doesn't want to make any mistakes. Especially he doesn't want to crash out and head Bumpier. You know, Bumpier and Andre too fighting for the championship as Bumpier takes a gander down the inside. It's a risky call, but we're going to make it stick now around the outside past Andre. Very nicely in racing, and Bumpier's managed to go ahead of Andre. My heart sank for a second there as Andre and they do the DeRoy all side by side. DeRoy ahead of the both. Edu now fight alongside with Andre, who gets ahead of Andre. Merv Martin now also ahead of Andre, and those mediums are really not sticking for Andre. I think Andre is probably time to pit right about now. As per the Drivers' Championship, it doesn't matter much. Faxon just looking like he's going to be his. Faxon, it looks like Faxon's going to be winning the Drivers' Championship. And with I seemingly maybe even more rain than we were seeing before, so maybe we might stop for wets. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if drivers will be needing a stop for wets, if I'm being honest. As Adam Dixon gets a 3-second time penalty. Multiple warnings, so if Faxon steps on the gas a bit, I say that he's got no ERS almost. He might be able to get within that 3-second time gap. I think he's closer than he was now than he was last lap. So using that ERS, using that overtake button, using the slipstream, can he get past dude? He's still too far back to make a lunge down the inside. So Merv Martin's still behind dude, and with around 4 or 5 laps to go, as they may have made a bit of contact. So maybe I think Merv Martin might have a bit more grip than dude. Hopefully Merv Martin though didn't lose any front wing. I think it's all in one piece. In second place, looking to win the Drivers' Championship, Adam Dixon beautifully ahead in first place. He may be a reserve driver, but he's going to be getting the win, most probably today. As I say that, bit of traction control issues. Oh, even more traction control issues, as he might have just clipped the barrier over, the side barrier over there. I think his front wing is still intact, but he's got to be careful. He seems to be sliding all over the place. And the Exocinio now, who's got a lot of VRS, will be looking to get past Merv Martin and dude, because Merv Martin now finally looking to get past dude. But I think lost a bit of traction control, and in fact, as the Exocinio gets past Merv Martin, and Merv Martin looks down the inside of the Exocinio. He's going to fight alone. He's going to fight it. It goes through, but he just ends up losing more time for himself. Can't get past the Exocinio. Can't defend his position. Now the Exocinio will be looking to get past dude. As now he's taking it beautifully around the outside of dude. There's a bit of contact, more contact. dude struggling, I think, moves out the way for... As Adam Dixon's retired from the session, he's crashed out. The Faxon takes the lead. Oh no, poor Adam Dixon. All he had to do was drive it home for one more lap. And he is crashed out. And Faxland, on the final lap of the race, takes the lead. And Mercedes had two strong drivers who probably could have tried clinching the Constructors' Championship. Probably won't be doing that either, as Faxland is coming through the final corner, turn 14 or 15. No, turn 14 actually, and now that's turn 15, and he's gonna win the Brazilian GP, and Faxland is your Drivers' Champion, and I'm pretty sure along with that he's going to be taking on the Constructors' Championship as well for the Racing Point, as Head Bumpier finishes in second, DeRoy in third with the Exocinio vehicles behind us, but due to time penalties actually. What the hell? dude's in first. So Faxland takes first, Bumpier in second, the Exocinio in third, Merv Martin in fifth, Godly Noob in sixth. I'm pretty sure dude actually finished in... Sorry, no. Wait, I just need to see because of time penalties. It's something we can sort out later actually. It's just a glitch. So yeah, Faxland is your your Drivers' Champion. You're also pretty sure Racing Point, also your Constructors' Champion. I hope you guys have all enjoyed. And for one final time, well, till 2 weeks time, Godspeed.